They once stood on the brink of a Hollywood fairy tale, but now they're at each other's throats in a high-stakes legal battle that's rattled the entire industry. From rumored power plays to devastating leaks, this clash between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni is turning into a cautionary tale about fame, ambition, and the fine line between control and chaos. How did a promising collaboration spiral into scandal and near career ruin? And why is everyone from studio executives to curious fans on the edge of their seats, waiting for the next revelation to drop? Let's uncover the dramatic chain of events nobody saw coming, until it was far too late. When Blake Lively signed onto Justin Baldoni's new film, many believed it was a match made in cinematic heaven. He had a reputation for heartfelt storytelling, while she had the star power to bring major attention to any project. Behind the scenes, though, there were whispers that this union wasn't as smooth as it looked. People on set quietly remarked about heated creative discussions between Lively and Baldoni, conversations that sometimes erupted into tense standoffs. Initially, no one wanted to believe the rumors. Both stars had dedicated followings and a history of playing nice in public, so when their collaboration was announced, fans were thrilled. Yet only a few weeks into production, close insiders started talking about friction. Lively was rumored to be requesting constant script tweaks, while Baldoni stayed defensive over the film's original direction. This creative tug-of-war didn't just ruffle feathers, it planted the seeds for a battle that would eventually explode into full view. By the time cameras finished rolling, the project felt more like a war zone than a film set. Both sides denied it publicly, of course, at least until the lawsuits emerged. But insiders say there was no mistaking the resentment simmering just beneath the surface. Things escalated sharply once the film wrapped. Fans were still blissfully unaware, but studio chatter began to leak about Lively's supposed takeover behind the scenes. According to these reports, she didn't merely offer friendly feedback. Instead, she allegedly seized key production decisions as though they were her own. Wardrobe changes, major plot reworks, and unexpected post-production personnel swaps, it all pointed to someone determined to reshape the film according to her personal vision. Critics of this narrative argue that Lively's high-level involvement is no more than any passionate performer might display. Yet those in Baldoni's camp paint a more extreme picture. They claim that her repeated push for control went far beyond typical actor input, leading to behind-the-scenes chaos. Baldoni and the original creative team reportedly clashed with her over script rewrites that altered critical character arcs. Seasoned professionals, from editors to costume designers, found themselves sidelined by new hires Lively brought in. At first, Baldoni tried to keep the peace. Several leaked emails suggest he attempted a compromise by letting Lively incorporate her ideas into certain scenes. But rather than seeing this as a collaboration, he later suggested she took advantage of his open-door policy and used it to steer the project wherever she pleased. No one expected that these early power struggles would eventually become the core of a massive lawsuit, but it didn't stop there. The disputes might have stayed contained if not for one bold stunt, an unsanctioned screening orchestrated by Lively. According to eyewitness accounts, she showed a rough cut of the film at a literary event, aiming to generate buzz and test early reaction. Studio higher-ups, however, had no idea this was happening. Not only did it break standard confidentiality protocols, but it also compromised the carefully planned rollout strategy. Word got back to the production company, and jaws dropped. Rough cuts are typically guarded like crown jewels, especially for high-profile stories with major expectation. This screening, apparently organized with minimal staff input, ended up embarrassing the studio. Some even say it gifted Baldoni ironclad ammunition in what was soon to become a courtroom showdown. Rumors spread quickly about how that event triggered emergency meetings. Lawyers and executives huddled over the breach, fully aware that a leak of unfinished footage could spell financial and reputational disaster. Suddenly, quiet dissatisfaction turned into pointed accusation. Lively wanted to overshadow Baldoni's vision by controlling every possible narrative, both in the script and in the press. Soon enough, the legal gloves came off. Documents began surfacing, implicating both sides in an escalating feud, but mostly painting Lively as the aggressor. She then filed her own claims, accusing Baldoni and his team of unprofessional behavior and even tarnishing her reputation through an alleged smear campaign. Meanwhile, the public watched in disbelief as the story gained traction in tabloids and mainstream outlets. At one point, Lively's legal counsel tried to impose a gag order on Baldoni's powerhouse lawyer, effectively attempting to silence him. Observers questioned whether these moves were genuine attempts at privacy or desperate efforts to keep damaging details under wraps. The judge, unimpressed, refused to grant the gag order, opening the floodgates for more revelation. Suddenly, it felt like every day brought a new headline. Insiders claimed Lively leaked files to the press, Baldoni's side countered with text messages that suggested she had orchestrated her takeover long before. Each new piece of evidence served as a fresh shock, and the general public couldn't look away. Social media went wild with theories, and the entire fiasco threatened to overshadow the movie itself. The twist no one expected arrived when Ryan Reynolds, Lively's husband and one of Hollywood's most bankable stars, got pulled into the fray. Whispers circulated that he had quietly backed her behind the scenes, even fueling the lawsuit to protect their joint brand. While there's no direct paper trail detailing his involvement, fans speculated about possible motives. Some believed Reynolds was disturbed by certain scenes or by Lively's closeness with Baldoni during production. Others argued he saw an opportunity to steer the narrative and maintain their family's pristine public image. Whatever the truth, his name started cropping up in court documents and insider gossip, leading Hollywood executives to wonder if both halves of this power couple were orchestrating a much bigger plan. Reynolds has stayed mostly quiet in public. Friends of the couple, however, hint that he was deeply unhappy about the direction the film was taking and how it portrayed Lively's character. Then came claims that he might have helped shape Lively's legal strategy, ensuring that she stayed on offense. In or out of the courtroom, the ripple effects for his own image remain unclear, but the mere suggestion that he played puppet master only raised more eyebrows. This saga might have stayed confined to tabloid intrigue if not for its seismic impact on Hollywood. As soon as details of the legal battle became public, studios started hitting the brakes on projects involving both Lively and Baldoni. Industry insiders fear that any collaboration with them could turn toxic, especially with the possibility of future lawsuits or negative publicity. Lively's career, which once sparkled with promising roles, took an immediate hit. Rumors circulated that she'd been quietly dropped from potential deals. The pushback wasn't strictly about who was right or wrong. Studios care about bottom lines and brand image above all else. A major star embroiled in a bitter, publicized feud is risky business. Baldoni wasn't spared. Several of his projects were cancelled or shelved, and he lost key deals just as the lawsuit exploded. A few in the industry argue that he's a casualty of a fight he never wanted, while others maintain he played a role in igniting the drama. Whatever the real story, the ripple effect is stark. No one wants to bet millions of dollars on a star or director whose name is synonymous with courtroom showdown. One of the strangest subplots involves Lively's unusually close relationship with Isabella Ferreira, her significantly younger co-star. Many on the production initially saw it as a kind-hearted mentorship, Lively passing on knowledge to a rising talent. But once the lawsuit gained steam, skepticism emerged. Did Lively befriend Ferreira in order to secure a loyal supporter? Was this a strategic move to build a public case against Baldoni? Ferreira herself publicly praised Lively for making her feel safe on set, an endorsement that some say arrived at just the right moment. Yet critics couldn't help but notice how swiftly Ferreira's comments aligned with Lively's legal arguments. Fans who loved their on-screen bond began questioning if it was all a calculated step by someone who needed an extra witness to bolster her claims. None of these suspicions are proven facts, of course. But in a legal showdown this messy, every alliance looks suspicious, especially when fortunes and reputations hang in the balance. Even fellow cast members started treading lightly, reluctant to be pulled into a war that showed no sign of ending. After months of dramatic leaks, courtroom filings, and a public relations circus, there's still no definitive winner in this showdown. Only two high-profile figures who've seen their once bright stars dim under the weight of controversy. They entered this project hoping to dazzle audiences and maybe even shake up Hollywood's status quo. Instead, both stand accused of scheming, manipulating, and sacrificing a creative vision for personal gain. Studios remain guarded, audiences seem torn, and the legal battles keep morphing. Will new evidence emerge that changes everything? Could there be secret negotiations behind closed doors, aiming to settle and save what's left of each person's reputation? Or will the ongoing revelations grow even darker, exposing hidden layers of a power struggle that began long before anyone knew? Right now, no one can say for sure. What is certain is that the stakes are higher than ever for Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, and everyone tethered to their fallout. Careers are on the line, million-dollar deals lie in limbo, and public trust is evaporating with every sensational headline. One misstep could mean total collapse. One surprising twist could redeem someone entirely. But that next twist, it might be the most shocking one yet, and if it surfaces, you'll be among the first to know. With so many moving pieces, it's clear this scandal is far from over. One thing we've learned from Hollywood's storied past is that fame is fickle and fortunes can rise or crumble in a matter of days. Whoever emerges from this unscathed, if anyone manages it at all, will surely discover just how thin the line is between superstardom and the harsh glare of public scrutiny. It's a lesson the entire industry is watching, and the outcome promises to reverberate in surprising ways, no matter where the final verdict lands.